This is Sport Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. The show is live and interactive, of course, on social media. Let's hear from you. 0551 575757. That's the WhatsApp number. It's on your screen. If you prefer, of course, Twitter, use the hashtag SportsZone. We've got a lot to cover on the show today, so I'm not going to waste your time. Show proudly sponsored, of course, by Hunters, also by PrideBet and by Syntex Tank. And I'll tell you briefly about them, but it's time to introduce my guest today. And the newest, the freshest, freshly minted, ladies and gentlemen. The last time he was on this show, he was a single man. He's returned a married man. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. If you're ready, let's roll. It's Daniel Crafty making a return. Daniel, show them the ring.
Show them.
Flex it. That's right.
I said this show right now, the name of the show for change.
Is what?
The Married Men's Portion.
2023 has been a beautiful year.
That's right.
Last time
Daniel, tell them.
I told you guys that I serve a miracle working God.
That's
that
right.
My God will speak for me.
That's right.
Look at me, I'm happy. And these two guys, they didn't tell me early. They told me that marriage is sweet went like this.
Hey, long ago.
Hey, goodness. Oh, sweet, man.
Congratulations, man. Congrats, man. Welcome to the club. Yeah.
Man, Sicho, how are you?
I'm fine. Happy
Charlie,
for
we
my
will not
brother.
rest, though.
We won't.
Wait.
Okay.
Since
What has been the...
Since the 18th of November, you see, growing up, I used to watch Raul, one of my favorite strikers.
Yeah.
It's called Sidu
Yeah.
Every morning when I wake up, I do. Charlie, I love it, man.
What's your favorite thing about being married so far?
When I wake up at 10, beauty.
Good answer.
Those times when I wake up at 10,
Good
I see
answer.
pillow. I'll 10, I'll see something. And I do like,
If you don't take your pride,
wow.
if you don't take it. Charlie, when you are single, it's true. If you tell you see your dirty t-shirt that you left there yesterday, your sock that you threw in the corner is still there.
It's looking at you. Oh my goodness. That thing is sweet too.
What's the one thing you don't like anymore?
One thing I don't like anymore.
Now you can't determine what to wear anymore. They tell you what
No,
to
but
wear.
I like it.
Of course.
Because I'm looking good. It's not true. I'm looking good.
So there's extra checks.
I said, I brought out the thing. I said, baby, come.
Uh-huh.
Don't match this one. Wear this. I said, take over my life. Take over. We're married.
You see, the thing is that no, it's very true. Because before you realize, your favorite t-shirt is now mopping's floor. It's true. The t-shirt that you like, pan. Brother,
You built an
come
emotional connection with the t-shirt.
Oh, my brother.
Thrown.
Throw it away, cry.
But we'll take it like
Anyway, the show is proudly sponsored, of course, by PrideBet. PrideBet says, this Christmas, dear, the excitement all day, pridebet.com.gh. Giving you lots of exciting gifts, and you could be a winner too. Just stay active on PrideBet and be a part of the luck plays this season to win yourself mobile phones, okay? Bluetooth AirPods are also available, and TV sets. All you need to do is this. You can now bet on international lotto results from the US, UK, and even Ghana. Visit pridebet.com.gh and enjoy a 100% welcome bonus on your very first deposit, okay? 100% bonus on your very first deposit. This Christmas could be for PrideBet. PrideBet, let's go. T's and C's, of course, always apply. PrideBet is regulated by the Gaming Commission. Syntex Tank has been with us right from the very beginning, and they are telling you whatever your preferred color of tank is, they have it. Whatever size you want, they have it. Whatever layer you want, whether single, double, triple, they have it, okay? And whatever guarantee you want, they have it. They give the longest warranty of any tank in the world, and that is up to 7 years. So remember, no matter what your water needs are, Syntex Tank has it. Syntex Tank is strong, it's tough. They have over 300 agents nationwide. So if you want a Syntex Tank, just call them 0244-335168, 0244-335168, and they will deliver to your destination. Syntex Tank is strong, it's tough. And also Hunters being a part of this program from the very beginning. And I'll tell you what, in this festive season, the only refreshment that should be available at the family dinner table for all the people over 18 should, of course, be Hunters. Okay, the cider now comes in an apple cider, which has real apples. So whatever it is that is your refreshment needs, always make sure there is a Hunters in there for the entire family and friends. If you're taking a road trip, whatever it is, make sure you pack Hunters, okay? You can get Hunters pretty much anywhere, every supermarket. But if you want to buy in bulk, you can call Casapreco on 0262 351 251. 0262 351 251, and they will deliver to your location. All right, guys, let's begin with this. Show you images from Marrakesh. Just concluded is the CAF Awards, and the CAF legends descended in Marrakesh to award the best footballers on the continent. Odogu footballer, Asisato Shola, she was very instrumental in getting Nigeria to the Women's World Cup, and they had an incredible World Cup as well, making it out of the group. And so that was good. Osimhen, on the other hand, also helped Napoli win a first Serie A title in more than 40 years. So both making history. Morocco, National Team of the Year, really goes without saying. But guys, is there any part of these awards that is slightly contentious? We've seen previous years where there have been some questions or people have raised questions. And I have to be specific and say that Algeria, FA president, was very angry because he said Riyad Mahrez should have at least made the short list of the top three. He didn't even make the top three, where Osimhen, Mohamed Salah, and Hakim Ziyech. He says Riyad Mahrez should have made it. He won a treble with Man City. It was fantastic. There's no reason why he shouldn't have made it. But, Daniel, I'll begin with you. Is there any part of these awards that you will look at and think, maybe one of them doesn't deserve it?
No, I think the winners are very clear.
And just to be clear, all the other nominees didn't come, except the winners.
Yeah.
That's my back case. But look,
but it's not good for the awards.
No, it's not good. But
yeah,
come on, it's about sportsmanship basically.
Yeah,
you need to attend. They've given you time off. You can attend. It's in the spirit of the sport. This award hasn't happened in a number of years.
In 2 years.
Yeah. In 2 years. So this is the first time in a long time. It would have been nice to see all of them there. But again, they didn't win, so I understand. But talking about the winners, I think it was straightforward. But what confused me a bit, and it started from the nominations. The shortlist for the Player of the Year award had Yassine Bono in it, who is a goalkeeper, Morocco's goalkeeper. But Andre Onana wasn't part of that shortlist. And yet Andre Onana was part of the Goalkeepers of the Year shortlist. Now I'm thinking, if a goalkeeper is fit enough to appear in a 30-man shortlist, which has some players who I think that Onana was way better than in the season under review. Onana was the best goalkeeper in
He was in the Champions League.
In the Champions League.
Yeah.
Onana is the best goalkeeper in the Champions League. He was the best statistically. I think top 2 or top 3 best goalkeepers in the Serie A. So if you add that together and you put it against Bono's terrific run going to the semi-final, at least both of them should have been nominated for the 30-man shortlist. And if you push it, I'm looking at Salah, I'm looking at Hakim Ziyech. I think that Onana, based on what he did, it's historic for Africa.
No, he had a wonderful
goalkeeper to be goalkeeper of the season in the UEFA Champions League. That is big. And if Osimhen winning a Serie A title, winning top goal scorer, is good enough for him to win the overall award, I think Onana being the best goalkeeper in Europe is enough for him to be in the top 3. It was just a bit confusing for me, but these things happen.
It is what it is. Sicho, your thoughts? I don't know where you want to pick it from, but it looks like Daniel said, it looks like this year is very straightforward.
Yeah. It looks straightforward for the winners. Few confusions about what Daniel mentioned, but yeah. Well, I still would have gone for Bono anyway, because he was very instrumental for Sevilla last season, who didn't have a great league run, but in Europe they were brilliant. They were the Europa League champions, you know. And at the World Cup as well, he was semi-final. So I'll look at those numbers and I'll look at those performances and I'm thinking he was a winner. You know, Andre Onana was massive for Inter Milan, was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League, but he didn't have plenty to show for it. Bono did.
Didn't win Serie A.
Didn't win Serie A. Didn't win the Champions League. You know, won the cup, but you know that was Handanovic keeping in most of those competitions as well. So I can understand why Bono is the one they go for. On the issue of Riyad Mahrez, yes, City won the treble, which was part of the team, but last season he didn't play a significant part of City's success to winning the treble. Between him and Salah, maybe that is where the conversation can be had. That what is that Salah achieved or did last season that maybe can't get Mahrez's treble winning season ahead of Mo Salah? That discussion can also be had. But I'm happy for Victor Osimhen, because for him to have gone to Napoli to do what he did with them is just history. You know, the last time they did that was with the great Maradona himself. Yeah. And he's gone there to just shred all the goal-scoring numbers for Napoli and become an icon for them. So I'm happy for Osimhen as well as Oshola.
Yeah. Interestingly, one Ghanaian was in the shortlist for the Women's Young Player of the Year, Comfort Year, but she didn't win. Of course, that award went to the Moroccan. I got to tell you, the last time a Ghanaian won the African Football of the Year award was back in 1993. So we haven't won it in exactly 30 years. Yeah. Okay, exactly 30 years. When we last won the African Footballer of the Year, Daniel Cranton wasn't born. Or even
That's not true.
And now he's married. Unbelievable.
That's not true. I was a couple of months.
But DK, speaking of which, it's only befitting that you came back a freshman, came into a fresh studio. You can't go and put you back in the...
The studio was waiting for me, I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, the studio called me, was it like last week? Last week I watched the Community Shield. Studio was playing.
This is a season starter.
This is a season starter.
Interesting. I've got a start for you guys. Can any of you guess which country has won the most African Football of the Year awards?
Ivory Coast.
Nigeria?
Nice try.
Nigeria?
Nice try. No. You get a second guess.
Hey, if it's not Ivory Coast, it's not Nigeria.
African Football of the Year, even though, yeah, it really won 4.
Egypt.
It wasn't enough.
Egypt,
no. It's actually Cameroon. Think about Eto's numbers. Think about Mboma.
That makes sense. That makes sense, you know, yeah.
Yeah, think about that. And you know how many they won? Put a number to it.
9.
Close.
10.
Close. 11. So just keep going up.
and how many does Ivory Coast have?
Cote d'Ivoire has won
would
6.
have like 6, yeah. Didier Drogba and Yaya Toure.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
For the most part. Nigeria have 5.
Nigeria have 6 as well.
6, yeah.
And so do Ghana. Do you know who won Ghana's other 3? I bet he has 3. So who won the other 3?
Golden Boy won.
Sorry? Golden Boy Abdulrazak, yes.
Abdulrazak won and...
no. I don't remember the other.
Ibrahim Sande.
Yeah, Ibrahim Sande, yeah.
In 71 as well. So that's the list on the screen.
When you stop winning AFCONs, you will not win this thing.
Yeah, that is true. So,
anyway, incredible. Egypt has got only 3.
Yeah, I think I remember it became an issue in the past.
Abutrika wasn't winning.
Abutrika wasn't winning when he was.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
yes.
There was always the issue of foreign-based players because Drogba.
But at that time, Drogba was
exactly. Abutrika would never win.
Yeah, there was a time Adebayo as well.
Yes,
won it in
exactly.
Lome. 2008 when. No, in 2008 when Ghana was hosting the AFCON, they won the awards in Lome.
Yes.
So players left come to.
Then the Kanute 2-1-1 during that period.
Yeah, Kanute, I think. Yeah.
And Essen's best years came when Didier Drogba was also there.
Yeah.
Then I think the closest for me, I feel like a stolen verdict.
Andre?
No,
Gian
in 2010 when they gave it to Eto'o.
Yeah.
And Eto'o had a good season, to be fair. Won the treble, won everything.
Yep.
But Jan's impact at the World Cup. Yeah, so sometimes...
I mean, I'm not going to say Jan had... I love Jan. But I'm not going to say he had a better year under review than Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah, it was basically the World Cup.
Because he scored 3 goals at the World Cup.
Yeah, but in context, talking about national team impact, not club. That's where these awards... When you talk about CAF, for me, I think about your impact on the continent first, then everything else comes second. So national team, if you play in the continent, okay, fine. But I think national team first.
Also on the back of
in
AFCON that year and then the World Cup as well.
World Cup quarter-final.
In that case, you think a Moroccan should have won this year?
You could have pushed it, yeah.
But again, when you look at Osimhen's outings this year, it's impossible to look beyond.
I think it was similar, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was. Eto'o was had an incredible season.
He was, So I can understand how tough it was.
Let's move it on. Away from that, we'll show you Midyama Sporting Club. They hosted Young Africans. That game ended 1-1. Second in the group with 4 points. So it's not over yet. Dreams FC, they got an impressive 3-2 victory. Of course, that's the group confirmation. Okay. The other table I saw had Midyama on top. I'm not sure why, but yeah, Modiama's goal difference is not great. This is Dreams FC's group in the Confed Cup. They won 3-2 away to APC Lobito, who have 0 points, by the way, and all 3 clubs in there have 6 points. Club African, Rivers United, and Dreams FC. That is a tight one.
It really is. And I'm proud of Dreams FC because they've never been here before.
Yeah.
They have no experience what it means to play on the continent. And as Danny said, when these clubs were going there, we didn't necessarily think they were going to compete. But after 3 games, they are competitive. They stand a chance of going through. And Karim Dito deserves a lot of credit. He's done it with juvenile national team, but here he is winning the FA Cup with Dreams FC, going into Africa to be competitive. And they've got 6 points out of 3 games. That is a very, very good return. So yeah, all the best to them. Let's see how far they can go. And that for me should be, Hartford and Kotoko should look at themselves and rethink. Because the last 5 years or so, when these 2 clubs have gone to Africa,
they didn't make the group stage.
Yeah, the narrative has been that the league is so bad that our big teams can't compete on the continent. But we've got 2 of our teams who are not traditionally big clubs competing on the continent. We're not saying they're going to win, but at least they're in the group stages and they are showing that before the final kick of the game or the final game in the group stages, they give themselves the chance of going through. So credit to the 2 teams, Bidiama and of course Dreams FC.
All right, so that's wonderful news for them. So the hope is that they will continue on that tangent. There are 3 more games remaining in the group, so that's still a lot to play for before we can determine who makes it to the round of 16 of the CAF Champions League and CAF Confed Cup. Hopefully, they can get over the line. Let's come back home and talk about the Ghana Premier League. The Super Clash happened over the weekend. It was between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak, played at the Babaya Sports Stadium in Kumasi. It was a Hearts of Oak home game. But, of course, they've been sacked from their own home by Peter Chimesi and his squad at NSA. So they took the game to Kumasi. In the end, it ended up being a 3-2 victory for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. It was a really exciting game of football, to be honest. You know, you can debate about the quality and all that, but there was excitement, there was a lot of energy, a lot of running.
They were rotating players. There was no consistency or stability with the squad. And they seemed to be changing what they wanted to do. Now they settled for a back 3, right? 5 across the midfield with those fullbacks. And one thing I've loved about this is, somehow this season, Kotoko did not have the high-flying wingers who are speedsters. Isaac Opon is great when he's wide, but he doesn't have the best of pace to go past people. So what he's done is with those fullbacks going high, Isaac Opon or whoever starts on the other side are very much narrow. And when you see the goal that they scored, Babaya in that half space, Isaac Opon making that run in those spaces, causing problems. And I think that is where Kotoko are beginning to head teams. How far can they go with that? Maybe a long way because they've got a good coach and the players are now beginning to look like they're settled.
And they're only 4 points behind the league leaders right now, who are Samatex, by the way. But Coach Amadou Nuruddin also doing wonders in Samra Boy. Many people are not talking about that, but they're doing some wonderful work. One quick question, though. There's a lot of communication that Richmond Lamte has to be on the plane to Cote d'Ivoire.
Oh, relax. Richmond Lamte has to be.
Yes.
Who is he better than? In place of who?
He has to be in the squad.
Let's not do this. You not talk about a Dreams FC player or a Midiama midfielder who is better.
What are you talking about?
No, come on. Let's not do this. Really? The guy's doing well. Let's not do this. We are not ready.
He could be one of the players they can consider. I'm not saying he should be on the plane, but it's one of those players they can consider. He's Ghanaian, so of course.
The statement shouldn't be consideration.
Yeah. He has to be considered. He has to be looked at.
Aren't we the same ones who have complained about our team not having a lot of creative players and what have you? So if you take out Kudus, who plays very much like him, the others like Baba Idrisu, Sales, who are the other midfielders we have?
Ashimeru is in there.
Ashimeru.
Yeah. I mean, Lamte is not that far off, is he?
In terms of, listen, I like Lamte. He has great energy. His ability on the ball is great.
Yeah.
And the execution of that pass we saw is brilliant. You can see the pass, but you need the ability to be able to play it. But the Black Star is another step high. And when you've got few weeks to the AFCON, when you've not had him play in this team for the whole year and preparing him to gel, I'm not sure it is the time to throw him in.
But to be fair, we do have a history of players never playing for the Black Stars, and then when they slot in, they are absolutely phenomenal in their very first game. And
for example,
2006 World Cup. Nobody even knew that Sheila Eliasu or Habib Mohamed were going
to play. That's the difference. The quality and the level of the Ghana Premier League at the time.
But we're talking about...
2 years after.
But what's wrong with Lamptey's... What's wrong with Lamptey's
I'm saying the quality of the league at the time
to
justify why
a player from the league can walk straight into the team.
The Black Stars. This time
and listen, we've seen some of our best
maybe
players.
It's also because at the time we really didn't have a lot of quality players playing abroad. So we had no choice.
2006 we did, but the point is...
But seriously, at the time Habib Mohamed came, our left back was Adukwe Papu. What kind of football was he playing at left back?
No, but
that's the point. So we had no choice than to slot in Habib Mohamed.
You also have
and
to...
he proved his worth.
No, you also have to be realistic and state the fact that in recent years, very recent years, we've had some of our best players from the Ghana Premier League go to the Black Stars and have not been able to perform.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, we've seen them. I mean, Ganu was there, he was decent, but it didn't last. We saw Imoro from Kotoko go and play at times at left back. We've seen Abalora go there. We've seen Hartlefolk's former captain, Mohamed Fattah, go there. These were some of the best players in the local scene. They didn't necessarily find their feet. So you can see Lamptey playing one in the league. It doesn't guarantee that he excels.
No, but friends, quickly, I don't know why you want to run away.
I want to show you the 4 results from the Ghana Premier League.
No, but on the Hearts of Oak Kotoko game, we saw the Hearts of Oak second goalkeeper. 2 years ago, he was playing for the Black Stars.
Avenaya.
You didn't see Richard after the game.
I was praying. You have the video.
Friends, I was praying it was the wind, like Jadon Sancho.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think Richard Atta has let himself down. So if he's watching this, I hope it's a lesson. You know, hit the gym. Hit the gym. It's literally your job. That's what feeds you.
But what are the trainers
to be in a top physical shape.
Yeah. What are the trainers of the club doing? What is
competing with me right now?
No, you are better.
Right. Let me show you the 4 results on the table of the Ghana Premier League, what it looks like right now. Very, very briefly. There was victory, of course, like I said, for Samatex. They beat Heart of Lions. Heart of Lions still looking for their very first win of the season. Bechem United won 4-0 against Accra Lions. Legon Cities also won 3-0 against Real Tamale United. Benayes R is missing. So it's not Il Tamale. It's Real Tamale United. And Karela got an impressive 1-0 win at Nshuatema. Yeah. Let's show you the table. As things stand, Samatex are top, like I said, 26 points. Ediana Nshuatema, 24. Bechem 23, Nations 23, Rekum Chelsea 23. Nations beat Ediana. What a great game that was. And then you see Kotoko there with 22 points, just 4 points off the top. So the Ghana Premier League table is really, really tight as things stand. Look at the bottom. Heart of Lions, 8 draws this season, 5 defeats, still no win in all of their matches. It's unbelievable. And then you see the bottom 3, Real Tamale United, Gold Stars as well. All right. So that's the rundown on the Ghana Premier League. Let me see. I've got some messages here. I'm going to read some messages, and then we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll move straight to England. There's a message here that says, hello, I'm Francis, and I didn't actually expect any goals between us and the Kotoko match. I don't know why you weren't expecting goals. This one says, I've seen, it says, have you seen Richard Atte's Tommy? What sort of physical work did they do at House of Oak? That's a whole WWE physique.
No, but on a serious note,
that's from Charity.
His frame is not, it's not proper for the sports at that level. You wonder if it's healthy even. I'm not sure the sports scientists might be watching, but if an athlete to play in a professional
football, it's dangerous, exactly.
I'm wondering.
With that physical activity on that stomach?
Yeah, I wonder if it's safe and healthy.
No wonder early in the season there was an instance where he couldn't get to the ball. He was struggling. He was
against RDU. Waist trainer is 40 CDs. He can wear it and at least hide it. What is
Bedroom Pep Guardiola from La Paz says, after I won the coupon on Friday, I told Bedroom Emma Hayes to come over on Saturday so we can do Netflix and chill. I thought I'll receive my coupon on Saturday from you guys, but you guys disappointed me. It's not us, please. Okay? You've come here, you have come to complaint from one show to another show. Why are you like that? Why are you like that? You want a coupon? Wait. Next Friday, if we come, and the people have insulted you, they will call them and ask them. We are not the ones sharing the coupon. The people came on the show and they shared the coupon. Bedroom Pep Guardiola. Why are you doing that? It's not nice. P says from Asnaze, he says, first of all, congratulations to my man Danike. Marriage must be nice. See the way he did glow. Anyways, Chelsea will definitely come good. We just need time and we're going to be all right. Okay. This one says, hey, my crush is married. Wow. Nikki.
Me?
Yes.
Beg you.
He said, please, I won't give you the number. Don't worry.
Don't beg you, I beg you.
This one says, so till when will Pochettino finish building his project? Hey, this is Pochettino. They are gradually defacing Chelsea Football Club. So sad. Anyways, warm welcome to Oli John Snow, who brought the snow and was standing in the snow, stand out from the snow. And congratulations to Danny Key.
Bars, my guy.
That is Francis KFC. Bars, my guy. At Kanjaga in the Upper East region. This message is from Yao, who says, big ups for the good work. I hope Eric Ten Hag helps United get into the top 4 this season. Interesting. Top 4, you can dream. Of course. This one says, decay. Charlie, you are on fire like your newest fantasy studio this evening. You guys look like you may kiss the cup. That's from Mutala Tanko. Interesting. Yeah, superb. Inside Oil City. Okay, I think I've read that message. This one says, in fact, I like Danica's analysis. I need your number. I'm David, watching you live from Yendi. All right, David, we'll see about that. This one says, good evening to you all. My name is Hamid Jibril. The referees didn't do well yesterday, and they destroyed a beautiful game, he says. And this one says, okay, hold on. Good evening, guys. Please, how are you doing this evening? We're fine. Great show by all standards. Keep up the good work. Victor Osimhen deserves the award tonight, together with Asisa Toshola. Congratulations to them. Bra Bible from Sekendi Takradi. All right, do send in your messages. Keep them coming. The number is on your screen. Also on WhatsApp. Okay, that's on WhatsApp. Also on Twitter. The hashtag is SportsZone. We'll go to Twitter and get some messages there very shortly. But now we'll take a break. When we come back, we're zooming straight to the action from the English Premier League. Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime, brought to you, of course, by Hunters, also by Centex Tank and by Pride Bet. My name is Fentio Tahil Fentio. I'm here with Chauffeur Philip Atrim and Daniel Kranting, as well as the man that's got the rundown on Ghanaian players abroad, Karim Benning. How are you, my brother?
Fentio, do you know I was in Ohio over the weekend?
You were where?
Ohio.
Stop lying. What was happening in Ohio?
I went there to ensure that Yaoyabua led Columbus Crew to the MLS Cup title.
That's
and we
right.
did it perfectly.
Scored a wonderful goal, didn't he?
And that's just the beginning of everything. From him to Joseph Pencil to Emmanuel Boateng, a forgotten name, Joseph Atamalawe. It's really impressive.
Salisu.
There's hope. There's hope. The AFCON is coming.
Ghanaian players abroad then.
Just 3 days.
Where's Karim's slide? Where are you keeping it? Put his slide there for him. Eh? Oh, what is this?
Sweet Karim.
Sweet Karim is waiting for his slide. You are not putting his slide there for him. What is going on? Karim, anyway, you talk me through the players you're talking about.
So the thing is that the highlight of everything is Yaoyabua. Over the weekend, he led Columbus Crew, as I said. They won 2-1 against Los Angeles FC in the MLS Cup final. Okay. The game was played on Saturday night. He made a very delicate cross into a dangerous area, won a penalty for Columbus Crew. Hernandez converted it. In the 37th minute, he scored himself and got closer to scoring a third. Okay. But it didn't happen. In the end, he won the cup title. In that game, I thought he was the best player in that final. Okay. Then there was also Joseph Atamalawe, a player we've almost forgotten of for a long time. Then he was in action for Kayserispor. They won 2-0 against Pendispor in the Turkish Super League. And in that game, he completed the most passes of any player, 64 of 65. That's 98% success rate. Then we had Mohamed Salisu returning for AS Monaco, making his debut for AS Monaco, signing for them in the summer, but undergoing a groin injury means he had to wait this long for his debut. And on his debut, he didn't fail to impress. 1-2 over 2 of the tackles he attempted. Then we come to Salis Abdul Samed. He played for Lens, and they drew goalless against Montpellier in the French League 1. Then a new name here, Lawrence Ofori. He plays for Moreirense. They won 1-0 against Estrela in the Portuguese League. And also he is anchoring the midfield. Then Jeff Schlopp, he played for Crystal Palace. They lost to Liverpool, but he was very much involved in that game. Jordan Ayew was sent off in that game.
He was sent off.
Yes.
I don't know what Daniel's reacting is for, but go on.
He was sent off in that game. Then Joseph Pencil, he played for Genk. They won 3-1 at UPenn in the Belgium Pro League. In that game, he created the most chances, that is 4, and completed the most dribbles. Scored his 4th league game this season, 4 goals and 4 assists. Then Emmanuel Boateng, I spoke about him. Yeah. He's a forgotten man. He scored for Rio Ave and also assisted, and they drew 2-2 against Aroha in the Portuguese league. Then Fatau Isaac, he enjoyed himself over the weekend. Yeah, he provided 2 assists in 3 minutes for Leicester City. They won 4-0 against Plymouth in the championship. In that game, he completed the most dribbles, created the most chances, 5, and won the most duels as well. If you are looking at the performances over the weekend, really, overall, there's hope for the Black Stars. We just need to make sure that we get them gelling and kicking, and we'll be able to break that AFCON jinx.
There are a few, in fact, you spoke about Emmanuel Boateng being a forgotten man. There are a few forgotten men in there. Atama, that's the first time I've seen his name.
Yes. Yeah, Yeboah as well.
Yeboah too.
Ghana struggling for left backs, and he's reinvented himself as a left back now, as a left-sided attacking player.
If you like, wing back maybe.
Wing back, if you like. So yeah.
What a goal from that position.
Yeah.
His numbers throughout the season was really telling. 37 games in 2023 MLS, and he scored 4 goals and provided 5 assists.
From left back?
Yes.
Left wing back.
Then
left wing back, yeah.
Left wing back. Then Atama, you spoke about him. After a very injury-disrupted season, the last time Kasarispo were thinking about offloading him, then this season they considered and gave him a 1-year extension. And this season he's really doing amazing things for them. Played in 15 games, started all of them for them. Then Alidu came from his red card suspension. Again, very massive for Clermont Foot.
And I have to say, it wasn't a great weekend for Mohamed Kudus. The West Ham fans were absolutely up in arms against him. They lost terribly. The whole team was poor, but I'm not sure why Kudus was targeted, to be fair. But anyway, let's move it on and talk about that game that had Jordan Ayew involved and Jeffrey Schlupp as well. They lost by 2-1 against Liverpool. Mohamed Salah scored his 200th goal for Liverpool, becoming only the 5th player to do so there in that particular game. And Liverpool are now top of the Premier League table as a consequence of this result. It was going well for Palace. They scored first. Mateta scored a penalty, beautiful penalty. And it was all going well. And then Ayew got the red card. Then Liverpool scored a minute after that. And then, Harvey Elliott found a winner in the 91st minute.
And that was crucial that Liverpool scored right after Ayew got that red card, because Palace didn't even settle into any shape or form to stop Liverpool from playing. So as soon as they got that equalizer, then Palace only had one thing to do: sit deep. Sat deep, and Elliott provided that goal with that quality. I thought Liverpool were poor on the day, but you won't be brilliant in every game that you play. And when you have the opportunity of going top of the Premier League,
to be fair, was that a second yellow card?
I think it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card offense. The reason why, and that is a good question, because when you put it as, is it a second yellow card? It means you are considering that the player is already
on a yellow. Yeah.
But when you isolate the incident on itself, I think it's a yellow card. And Jordan himself would know that he perhaps shouldn't have. We know he likes to work out for the team. But that was, being on a yellow card, he didn't need to apply himself that much. And Javier showed his quality in the end.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the winner. They added 10 minutes, and then Liverpool didn't need all of that. They only needed this. 91st minute, brilliant strike from Harvey Elliott, and Liverpool went top of the Premier League table. Incredible result for them in the end. Daniel, anything you want to say about that result before we move on to our next game? Because our next game is
football is just a very interesting sport. Jordan Ayew was having a super game.
He really was.
That just derailed everything. But really sorry for Crystal Palace, because they've been going through a very trying time. Yeah. This was one of their better games over this period. They were defensively solid. They've been very porous. I was very surprised Liverpool were struggling to carve them open. Yeah. Then the red card just absolutely just destroyed everything for them. But credit to Liverpool for taking advantage of it also.
And then also now top of the table. I don't think for the whole season a lot of people have given Liverpool credit, or enough credit, as like real title contenders. Was this weekend the weekend where everybody has to start paying attention? That yes, you might have your eyes on Arsenal or Man City, but maybe Liverpool are the real contenders here.
For me, I think I don't think people haven't given Liverpool credit. I think it's been the three teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City.
Yeah, but I feel like the conversation has focused a lot on Arsenal
because
and
of what
Man
happened
City.
last season. I don't think the noise about Liverpool has been that much. But I just feel over the past few years, they've been a constant title threat every season. And I think the conversation just continued almost naturally. It's Arsenal who have got a lot of people talking because of what they did last season. But look, this Liverpool team is good. Although I feel like if they don't get that DM, I feel it will reach a point where it will start. Because it's already telling. They concede goals. Liverpool are having to score more than one goal almost every game to win. They conceded 3 at home against Fulham. They scored 4. Yes, it's nice, but it's not sustainable. If you look at the volume of chances they are conceding and how clear-cut those chances are, Alisson, for me, I think he's the reason why Liverpool are top.
He's having a great season.
And you see, this sort of form, you can't sustain it till the end of the season. He will not be 100% elite up until the end of the season. And especially when in the turn of the year, when mental fatigue kicks in, if they don't get that defensive, that proper cover in front of this already aging defense that I think is on the decline, I think it will come back and haunt them.
Let's go to Villa Park, because that was where a lot of attention was. Aston Villa hosting Arsenal. Unai Emery against his former club. John McGinn, captain of the side, fantastic 10, brilliant goal. And that was all Aston Villa needed. In the 6th minute, they held on and held on. There were controversial moments late on in the match, but I have to tell you, 15 consecutive home victories now for Aston Villa. That is incredible. They've now beaten Man City and Arsenal, the 2 title contenders, if you like, back to back. They beat Man City midweek. And then they just beating Arsenal as well on top of that. And they are now just 1 point behind Arsenal, only 3 points, of course, behind, in fact, 2 points behind Liverpool. Because Arsenal are 1 point behind Liverpool, and then they are a further 1 point behind Arsenal. So just 3 points within touching distance of the top. And we'll talk about the controversial moments. So Arsenal scored this goal disallowed, but this was the real talking point. Kai Havertz.
Was it controversial?
This one?
I thought it was so clear that it can't be a goal.
Because the ball came off his hand.
Yeah, I mean, the ball came off Havertz's hand.
Yes.
And came off Matikash's hand.
Yes.
But the rule is so clear that...
Actually, twice on Havertz's arm.
Yeah, but when the ball comes off your hand and it leads straight to a goal, there is zero tolerance to it. But in the case of Matikash, he's got his hand on his chest. He's not making himself any bigger. His hand is not blocking the path of the ball.
On his chest.
No, it's in a natural position, I should say.
It's not a natural position.
I think it's natural. With relative
the incident will come back again.
Relative to the motion that he's taking.
Yeah.
His hand is not blocking the ball, as in straight to block the ball. And so, per the letter of the law, the rule was very much applied. And it can't be a handball to against
I think the goal should have been ruled out for offside. I think the decision was right.
And for Kai Havertz, the ball came off his hand and led straight to goal.
It did. And there's no forgiving that.
It's zero tolerance.
So which brings us to the whole issue of the law itself. The people that say that it's a little too harsh towards the
offensive team.
The offensive players. Because, you feel like if that ball came off a defender's arm, if Havertz was in a defensive position and that ball came off his hand, do you think he would have been giving us a penalty?
No, I don't. If he was a defensive footballer, I don't think he would have.
I think the Matikash incident was a penalty.
I don't think so. I think his hand was... Look at Matikash. I think his hand is in a natural position. His hand is not above his shoulder level. And if you see the replay again, if his hand goes above his...
If we can pause it when the ball hits his hand.
Yeah.
On the replay. I think
on the replay. Yes. Absolutely. There's absolutely nothing. And Matikash
I think that it would have been really hard to award a penalty.
Look at the proximity of the ball. Look at the position of his hand. It's not making his body any bigger. And it's relative to his body movement in sports. So you can't call that for a handball for Matikash.
So I think Daniel agrees that the goal should have been ruled out for offside, rightly so, because without that ball hitting Havertz's arm, he doesn't control it. Mm-hmm. So that's for sure.
Yes.
So that's why it has to be ruled out for offside.
For handball.
Yeah.
But you know how...
for handball.
You know how funny this rule is? If Nketiah got the final touch, it would have been given us a goal.
Yep.
Because if the ball hits the hand of the eventual goal scorer leading straight to goal, that's when it's ruled out.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the law. That's the thing. I
So
think
yeah,
people
so
have questioned the law.
we can question the law, but that is what the law says.
It
So
is
I
what
get
the
why
law
they go through that.
All right, so Arsenal fans lamenting a little bit, and they say, you know, it's the small decisions. They say they haven't had a lot of those going their way this season, and perhaps it's not helping them. I think there's some grand agenda. But let's move on to Luton against Man City. Man City had gone 5 matches without a win. It's the longest of any Pep Guardiola team, even from his time at Barcelona. And at the end of the first 45 minutes, it looked like that was going to be extended because Luton scored first at the Bio with that wonderful leaping header. But City showed grit in that second half. Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, to turn it around. What a relief for Man City, even for Pep Guardiola, because I'm sure he was already feeling the pressure. Even his comments in the press conference, you could tell that he wasn't himself. He was rattled.
Yeah, clearly. And he should be, because he knows he's losing ground, slowly losing ground. These small, tiny details in the Premier League can be very telling. But look, this is a sort of City victory that you don't really care how they won. The sort of period they were going through was that poor, and they just needed to get 3 points and get back into the feeling of winning, and especially coming back from a goal down. That's a ground that has proven to be difficult. Liverpool went there, drew. Arsenal went there, needed a last-minute win. And City went there at halftime, they were losing. You'll not be surprised if somebody goes there to go and lose. But the fact of the matter is that this team just needed 3 points, and they were able to grind it out at this stage. And look, we are turning into Christmas. We are going into the Christmas period, a very important period in the Premier League. So for Man City, it's about keeping it as close to the top as possible. Remember that City are going for the World Club Championship, so they'll lose ground a bit. And you don't want to be...
In fact, next weekend. Next Monday is their first game. 19.
You don't want to be too far off the leaders by the time you come back. Because trust me, Liverpool and Arsenal are not going to let it slip during the Christmas period. So for City, this was really, really important. And for Pep Guardiola, I'm glad they were able to do it.
All right, so that's the winning goal. Jack Grealish provided it. Let's move on to Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club. They visited Everton after the embarrassing defeat at Old Trafford against Man United. They went to Goodison Park looking for redemption. Well, it was further humiliation. And look at this. Okay, great save, but that, it's like everybody's just watching. I don't understand this goal in particular, because the moment he parried the ball in, and there are like 3 Chelsea defenders, and all of them are just like passengers. They're just watching on as he takes the shot, and then the moment he scores, they throw their arms in the air. Everybody's complaining. You watch this, okay, backing off, that's fine. It's a great pass. I really can't fault him. But the keeper makes a great save. Look at how many Chelsea players in the box.
To be honest, I don't think he can stop it. It looks awkward.
Nobody's closing him down.
I think that the reaction time, they could have made an attempt, but listen, the ball was falling very hard to the Curry, and that was a good finish by him anyway. He picked the spot and hit it. Chelsea haven't looked good, and so everything that goes against them looks worse, right? If that is against a City team or Liverpool team or Arsenal now, you're thinking, yeah, it's one of those. But Chelsea are in a very difficult place now, and anybody who is a fan of this show would have heard me say this for over a year ago, 18 months ago, that I don't believe in the Chelsea project. I don't think it's football. I don't think that the signing players and giving them 7-year contracts, 8, 10-year contracts, 100 years contracts is a loophole. It's just a risk that doesn't make sense in football, because when you bring these players at the age of 20, 21, 22, 20 years, 19 years, and you hand them these contracts, what are they really playing for? Because one of the things that gets players to perform is to play for their contracts. But these players know that they are stuck to the club.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to move them on. Now, if you're going to move them on for the prospect that they've got, many teams around the globe would know why you want to move them on. You can't recoup the money you've paid for them. So the whole project and the way they've signed the players from different places, different backgrounds, and dumped them onto the manager. Pochettino has not made signings. He's not made
now
signings.
There are even reports that he says the Chelsea squad lacks height.
Well, there could be that, but the truth of the matter is, the Chelsea squad lacks so many things that needs fixing with big cash. They need a prolific goal scorer. They probably need to buy a top goalkeeper. They will need another centre back. In the middle of the park, it's all of a sudden beginning to look like Caicedo, even if Lavia returns, and Enzo are not good enough. So how, as a club with this project, spent over $1 billion hard currency, whether euros, dollars, or pounds, and still have
Even
so
a
many
billion
things.
CDs is a lot of money.
Yeah, and still
A billion
have,
of any money,
A
if
billion
it's
of
not
any
Zimbabwe
currency.
money, it's money, right?
So how have they spent that much and still have assembled a squad? That very man looks like a mid-table team, and it's no fluke that Chelsea are in mid-table because the players have gone
Yeah,
the
12, that's not mid-table. It's bottom half.
bottom half, right? No, yeah,
They are doing well in the bottom half.
yeah, there's no fluke that Chelsea are there, and now I know that people are going to question Pochettino and what have you.
They're already asking the
Easy
question.
target.
But he's an easy target. And I said it, that I didn't see any elite manager taking the Chelsea project. Enrique said he didn't want it. Nagelsmann said he didn't want it. When Poch got the job, I said, I'm not sure what he does with the squad because the way the project has gone, it's simply not football. You can't reward players with 7-year contract, 10-year contracts and think that they are good enough to play themselves into form. There has to be a blend, and Chelsea need to fix that.
All right, let's talk about another team struggling, and that is a team in red. Manchester United hosted Bournemouth at Old Trafford. They were looking to follow up an impressive win against Chelsea with another victory, but somehow Bournemouth got their first win at Old Trafford since 1939. It's unbelievable the kind of unwanted records that have been broken under Erik ten Hag. Let's go through the goals very briefly now. But what kind of... Listen, I mean, there were people that watched the game and thought, again, the game against Chelsea, and thought, come on, man. I mean, maybe United are back. Man, United are back. But then there were people who thought, this is just deceptive.
Yeah, I didn't think United were back because when I saw that Chelsea game, I just knew that against a better team that had finishers in the side, they would score goals. And Chelsea were not great, but they still created massive chances against Manchester United. The difference between Chelsea and Bournemouth in this game is that Bournemouth took their chances when they created them. And it could have been worse for United. The scoreline flattered Man United. You know, it could have been 5. It did. It did. Wow. Bournemouth hit the woodwork. They had a goal ruled out for a very marginal handball, as we said. Zero tolerance for that. Onana had to pull off this save as well. But Man United didn't necessarily carve Bournemouth open to create chances where you are thinking that United should be taking. So the 3-0 scoreline there, that is a glorious opportunity that could have gone anywhere. So I think that game against Chelsea where United won by 2-1, the signs were there that against certain opposition in the Premier League or anywhere else, they were going to be punished, and they were punished in this fixture.
That's a great header. That's the second goal.
Yeah.
And then they got a third, obviously. It's like it really was a really poor performance from Man United. Erik ten Hag has said that United were simply not good enough. An interesting analysis of Erik ten Hag's issues, and rumors are that ten Hag's future is up in the air. So we'll see. They banned journalists from attending press conferences or publishing stories that there's a discord in the dressing room without consulting them. Let me show you the full results from the weekend of Premier League football, and then the table lets you know exactly what it looks like. Like I indicated, Tottenham, they got their first win in a while, beating Newcastle by 4-1. But the biggest result of the week, you have to give it to Fulham, who completely destroyed West Ham 5-0 in that London derby.
You know the funny thing about Fulham? Just last month, or let me say 5 weeks ago, they were struggling to score goals.
Yeah.
Yep.
They literally could even create chances to score goals. They scored 3 against Liverpool. They scored 5 against Nottingham Forest. They scored 5 against West Ham. And in all those games, they could have scored more. It's the same coach who looked at his team and said something must change, and he worked. The Fulham fans are not blaming it on Willian missing or this person missing or because of Mitrovic. People were saying at the start of the season,
or that Palenya is being pursued.
all of a sudden,
I mean,
the structure is beginning to create chances and they are winning.
For me, the key thing is every coach can have an excuse, but those excuses can't last more than 3 games, in my opinion. If you've got a very important player injured, and for that reason, your next game is a difficult one, the second one is a difficult, the third one is a difficult one, I can understand. But you need to find a solution. That's why it's your job.
Yeah.
So if your team is struggling to score, you can't tell me you lack creative players. There are several ways of creating. You don't need one player to be creative. Yeah. You can have a system that creates. Now, if you have a team that can't defend, you can't tell me because one centre back is injured and you're waiting for that centre back. You need to fix that. And that for me is where coaches earn their money.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that 100%. Pochettino hasn't earned his money yet, in my opinion. Let me show you the table in the Premier League. It's Liverpool who are now on top. Of course, with 37 points. Arsenal a point behind. Aston Villa another point behind. Man City completing the top 4. The Man City 4 points behind the leaders. Man United are down 27. That's 10 points off the top. Let's look at the bottom half. That's where you can find Chelsea. If you're a Chelsea fan, they're down in 12th position. And Benaya doesn't even bother to put their points there. So we'll move it on. Let's show you some highlights from La Liga this week, beginning with Real Madrid. They drew 1-0 against Betis. I just want to show you Jude Bellingham's goal. Brother, he's now scored 16 goals in 18 games from midfield. That is the best goal-scoring start any player has ever had to their Real Madrid career. And he's not even a striker. It's unbelievable how he did it.
That's how he spent £100 million or euros.
That's what you get for 100 million.
Nobody remembers his price tag anymore because he keeps delivering every weekend.
Yeah.
You know, but when we talk about how much is Anthony costing, how much is Enzo costing, how much is Caicedo costing, then there's definitely something wrong with their impact on the team. When you watch Jude Bellingham, he looks a full package, right? And like as I said, he's not a striker, but he's doing the job. He's getting on the end of crosses. He's tackling in midfield. He's setting his teammates up, and he's scoring goals. I think that is brilliant. And his goal in this game was spectacular. The control and the finish after the composure that he showed.
That's fantastic.
Magnificent. It's
just amazing.
It's brilliant. It's really.
And then the celebration is becoming iconic. Anyway, Real Betis found the equalizer. It ended 1-1. Let's go to the Barcelona game. You want to see the goal one more time?
Yeah, he started it really.
That's fair.
The mix of runs, breaking into the box, and the pass comes.
Look at the
lovely control, lovely finish.
Fantastic. Anyway, at the Olympic Stadium, Girona showed just that the start of the season is not a fluke. 4-2 win against Barcelona. Top of the Liga.
They just can't defend Barcelona. And last season, Danny Kranti made an analysis of how Barca were at times lucky because Ter Stegen was brilliant at shot stopping, or the quality of the position in taking their chances. And this season, we are seeing similarities in that because they keep conceding these same chances. Ter Stegen hasn't been great and he's been injured now. And then the individuals that needed to step up and defend, they can't defend. We've seen Koundé, he's not been great. Araujo hasn't been the same from last season. They have one more problem, which is Cancelo. As good as he is when he carries the ball forward, he's a liability when he defends. Yep. And they're beginning to have all these problems now. And unfortunately for Xavi, it's more important players who can take the game by the scruff of the neck and make things happen are out of form. Lewandowski is not scoring with regularity. Rafinha is not playing great. Joao Felix is as inconsistent as ever. He can have a very good 5 minutes, go off for the next 15 minutes. And we've seen Girona now who are playing like a unit. You don't know where to stop Girona because everybody, every single one of them is
such a complete football team.
It's an incredible team to watch. And they are winning games off the bench. We saw 2 goals coming from Valery as he scores here, and Estuani winning it or putting it the final nail in the coffin. What a team Girona has been. But Barcelona have got massive problems to deal with because individuals are just not performing well.
All right, so they got the consolation.
Anyway, me Leicester City vibes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I watched them last week against Valencia, and
look how easy that goal was.
Look, they went down a goal. I think it was about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And their bench won it for them.
Yeah. Stuani again came off the bench this week.
Scored twice. In fact, his 2 goals were assisted by another one who came off the bench, the right winger. And for me, their structure is very interesting. It's very similar to what Xavi does, very similar to what Pep does. Stretch the play out wide with wide men who are literally hugging the touchline. They always have an outlet when the midfield is cramped. And I don't know who does their scouting for them, but their wide men are very, very good at.
They are part of the City football group, and they are
super.
And one thing I like, as you mentioned, substitution friends, just a few seconds, they mix it. They can go route one, and we saw in this game against Barca, they scored 2 goals from going route one. When they bring on Stuani, he's the big lad. They trust him. They throw the ball to him, fly the ball to him, and he's getting the job.
Tomorrow, Champions League returns.
Oracle.
Man United against.
Let it give over to
against Bayern Munich, sorry. This is the pick of the lot. Man United, anything but the victory would mean they crash out of the Champions League.
The spirit is talking. PSV versus Arsenal over 1.5. Lens against Sevilla under 2.5. Union Berlin versus Real Madrid. Madrid or draw. Copenhagen versus Galatasaray over 2.5. Inter against Sociedad under 1.5. Man United against Bayern Munich. Man United or draw. Napoli against Braga over 1.5. Salzburg against Benfica Benfica.
You are telling me that Man U will not lose this game. That's fair. What about Wednesday? Where are the Wednesday fixtures, please? There you go. Thank you. Atletico Lazio.
Atletico straight win. Celtic and
Celtic will lose again.
Yeah, but to produce goals. I think over 2.5. Dortmund versus PSG. It's a very tricky one. I can't tell that.
I fancy Dortmund.
I really can't tell that. Dortmund have already qualified.
I think
PSG need to win. So that's where my
I think Newcastle will not beat AC Milan.
Yeah.
They're just at a bad state right now.
AC Milan themselves have not been too good.
I think
Newcastle will avoid it.
I think Newcastle will win because some of their injured players are returning. Callum Wilson and
That's
co.
fair.
Man City over 1.5. Leipzig Young Boys. Yeah, Leipzig end over 1.5. Porto will win. Barcelona will beat Antwerp.
That's not beat Antwerp.
Will beat Antwerp.
Barca win or draw.
Okay, anyway. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel.
Pleasure.
That's our show for tonight. Sports Zone brought to you by Syntex, Tank, also by Hunters, as well as Pride Bet. Thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in and for all your messages. You make this show. My name is Fentio, Tahiru Fentio. Until next Monday, do take care of yourself and bye-bye.